Hello and welcome. So this is me out for a local ride, trying to make the most of the weather, as I don't know when I'll next get out due to circumstances. I'm not a great fan of cycling around where I stay, but I'll tell you about that later. So I've lived here for several years, but never been down this wee track before, and this is the sort of wee track that I really do love to ride. So this is us coming up to Kerlaw Castle. It's built in the Gothic style and it must have looked pretty grand in its day, but sadly it's now in ruins. It was in the possession of the Cunningham family in 1488 and was burnt to the ground due to a feud by the neighbouring Montgomery family, the Earls of Eglinton. The Cunningham family retaliated 40 years later and burnt down Eglinton Castle. It's actually a shame that the council have put such an ugly fence round about it. I know it's unsafe, but I think they could have found a better solution. So we're now travelling along the River Garnock, and ironically when I did this on my road bike it was dirt and gravel this path, and now I'm on my gravel bike, it's smooth tar. I suppose it aids others to access the area, but the irony, it's hilarious. So this is us just about to go under the Joe carriageway. Back out into the light. So I'm now in search of a ammunition works that I'm told is somewhere round about here. Well, I could find it on the map, but I can't seem to see it here. And I'm just heading back to the tarmac track I was on. One for another day, I think. So, we're in Irvine, and this is me just going over the waterside bridge. So, we're at the harbour side and approaching the bridge to nowhere. Well, not strictly nowhere, but to the big idea. The bridge itself was built to retract to let the tall ships through. The big idea was, I have found out, built on part of the old Ardere ammunitions, the ones I was looking for. It cost 14 million to build and get up and running in 2000, and closed in 2003 as there wasn't enough footfall to run it. It was a science centre intended to be a living laboratory for people who wish to dream, discover, innovate and invent. Of course, with Glasgow having a science centre, it was inevitable that this would happen. So, we're down on the beach park and I'm coming up to something that I think is rather special. So this is the Celtic Dragon. It's quite spectacular, built from reclaimed sandstone from a railway bridge and built by the Newtown artists Anthony Vogue and Roy Fitzsimmons in 1987 as part of the Art Council's Art into Landscape competition. He looks out over the Clyde towards Arran and Ailsa Craig. I just wish folk would have a wee bit of respect and not litter all round about him. So I've just taken the cycle path past the Gales Golf Club and Dundonald Links, and we're now at Shewalton Wood, a nature reserve, and there looks to be some interesting gravel paths here that might be worth further exploration. This is me now just skipping round Shewalton Water. It's a favourite for cold water swimmers and canoeists, etc. Oldham Pond and Nature Reserve. So, I was going to tell you why I don't like cycling around where I live, and that's basically because last year, about 2 miles from home, and on a stretch of the National Cycle Network, Route 7, a yob on a trail motorbike tried to run me off the road. Not just once, but several times. I only shook him off after I got through the barriers that are supposed to stop cars and motorbikes. That's the first time in all my years of cycling all over, and I did report it to the police, but never heard any more. And to be honest, I don't think they even cared, not by the attitude of the call handler. So that's why I prefer to cycle elsewhere, which isn't easy to achieve at the moment. But hopefully, in the future, I'll move away to somewhere else. Well, that's something you don't see every day, someone butterfly catching. Used to do that as a kid. Brings back memories. Oh, somebody's been yellow hedging as well. Very nice. So I stopped off there at the garage because I was absolutely starving for a wee sandwich. So I've attached it to the front of my bar bag, so I might be actually a wee bit more aerodynamic now. Anyway, I'm off to find somewhere to eat it. I'm starving. So I'm now in Eglinton Park, and there's loads of great wee tracks about here, gravel tracks, and I'm still to eat my sandwich, so I'm heading up to Stourey Hill standing stones. They were set here in memory to an open cast mine that was established here in 1983. It was closed 2 years later and then landscaped, and the stones were discovered and used. So I'm now heading to Eglinton Castle. This was actually a large Gothic castellated mansion. The original castle was burnt down in 1528, which seems to happen a lot about here. The current one was built between 1797 and 1802 and was on a par with Culzean Castle down below here. It's got quite a history and talks of tunnels linking it to Kilwinning Abbey. The castle was abandoned in 1925 and everything in it was sold. There's actually a story of an unused panel room and the panels being removed by a young man for his house and him discovering the skeletal hand of a woman. It was de-roofed the following year after it fell into ruin and was further damaged in the Second World War during army training. So it's now a total ruin, as you can see. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you, and thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. Bye!